I'm delighted to welcome today a co-active life coach called Jasmine Navarro, who's based in Dubai. Welcome, Jasmine.
Hi, Elaine. Thanks for having me.
Most welcome. Co-active life coach. Does it do what it says on the tin? It sounds an interesting title.
Well, I guess co-active is the method that I train. And yeah, life coach, I guess, working with clients to help them overcome any sort of limiting beliefs they have and basically live the life that they want to live. That's it in a nutshell. But
okay, that sounds cool, but it also sounds very samey. We have so many coaches, on every street corner these days. Which was why I was quite interested with your co-active life coach title, because that to me that's telling me that your clients work with you, so you collaborate and you come up with a plan. Is that kind of how you work?
You're totally right, and actually I probably shouldn't have said that how I said it, because it just sounds so cliche. But yes, basically, yeah, we work together, so equal partnership, working together to serve the client, and we do techniques based on the coactive method. So like in other coaching methods, there's lots of powerful questions, but coactive method, we have different principles. And so, for example, fulfillment, and then we would have lots of techniques to do with fulfillment, and then we have balance techniques for that, and then process techniques for that. So it's very thorough, rigorous. I mean, the training was very it was tough training, nearly 2 years.
Okay, fulfillment, what do you mean?
Fulfillment would be it's all about visioning and looking forward, and visualizations, and talking about your inner leader, which is your inner self, your true inner self, aligning with that, and also talking about saboteurs, which are, your inner critic, I guess other people say. The saboteurs come when you try to get out of your comfort zone. But when you know they're saboteurs, you can ignore them and just do what you need to do, and that's helped me so much, because I've taken a lot of risks anyway, but now I know that my saboteurs are going to come and try and stop me. I'm prepared, and I know I can just break through, so it's all about awareness, knowing what's going on underneath everything. And I think
saboteurs, are they always internal, or are they external as well?
The saboteurs are you. So you've got your inner being, which is probably the one that will say, yeah, you can do this. Your true inner self, which was probably not scared of much. But your saboteurs, so for example, if I'm going to do something scary, maybe leave my job and not have a plan, my saboteurs will say to me like, oh, you can't do this, you're making a big mistake, what have you done, you're stupid, all of those voices, which is our voice, but it's our saboteurs, and they just want to keep us safe where we are. They think they're helping us, but actually they're just keeping us where we are. But when we know who they are and what they're trying to do, we can say, okay, thank you, Mr. Saboteur, and carry on, So it's quite life-changing when you realize, because otherwise we go around about our life thinking this is us. Oh yeah, we can't do that, better not do that, oh that might happen, da, da, da. And you believe those. But when we realize it's our saboteur,
okay,
we can do what we want to do.
It's like I've heard people refer to it as monkey chatter. It's like you've got a monkey on your shoulder, keep talking to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I guess in all there's different names. Yeah, I've heard that before, actually. Yeah.
You mentioned balance. Balance in what regard?
So balance is about it's about having, it's about when your perspective. It's all about perspective. So you can look at something a gazillion ways, actually. Sometimes you look at something, you just have one way, or you see the situation like this. Can't do that, I have to do that, But actually, when you explore the balance principle, you realize there are so many ways to look at that situation. and you can choose which way serves you, you know. So that was quite powerful, actually, doing that one when I was training. And that is like, wow, I don't have to look at it this way, you know, because normally we look at things, we have so many limiting beliefs or barriers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you realize, actually, I don't need to believe that or think that, I can look at it this way, or I can choose. Conscious choice. It's about making conscious choice.
Where do you think people's limiting beliefs come from?
Well, I guess, you know, as children, we create our beliefs, a lot of our beliefs, and maybe they serve us at the time. You know, sometimes when we create the beliefs, yeah, they serve us at the time, but in the end, they become habits and routines, and we don't even realize we're still believing these beliefs until we challenge them. And, you know, and sometimes in coaching, maybe there's a belief, and it's about being conscious. So once we know this, we've got this belief, then we can say to ourselves, do we want to carry on believing this or not? And maybe we say, yeah, actually, yes, I still believe this. Okay, that's fine, no problem. Or we might say, no, I'm just going to let that one go and create another one. You know, it's about being aware again. Once you're aware, making that conscious choice again. Because, you know, so many times I kind of felt like I had the same mindset for 15 years. I traveled to all these countries, living in different countries, but I think I went to every country with the same sort of mindset. Even though I was changing everything outside of me, inside wasn't changing, you know? And it wasn't until I did the coaching that I realized, I mean, everything changed then because I changed, my mindset changed, you know? I just became aware, conscious. I was asleep most of the time, you know?
And of course, with the beliefs that we have, that we grow up with, very often they're not even our beliefs, are they? They're our parents or our family and friends, you know, and all the rest of it.
Totally.
So we're carrying all this baggage that actually is not even ours, is it?
Exactly. And it's just about knowing what those beliefs are, and do we want to carry on with them or not?
Yeah, asking questions. I always say to people, ask questions. If something doesn't add up, ask a question. Think to yourself, why? Is it logical? And if on balance you think it's logical, well, that's fine. If not, then, as you say, you know, look at it a different way. My mum and dad and family have always said there's more than one way to skin a cat, which sounds horrible, but, you know, it's an old English saying that, you know, there are more ways to look at things. So, yes, I identify with that. So you've mentioned different countries, Jasmine. So tell us about your travels. Where have you been? What have you done? Why have you country hopped? What's happened?
Well, basically, I think, yeah, like I said, I don't know if I told you that before, but when I was 18, I found out, like, my stepdad passed away, but it was in the newspaper. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. So I just thought, I need to get out of here. So because I thought the situation I was in wasn't really beneficial to me, and I just knew I had to get out. Anyway, so I always liked traveling. So I trained as a teacher, and I went to Turkey, taught in Turkey, and then I went to Switzerland. That was always my dream, to work in Switzerland. So I worked in Switzerland, and then I decided, in Switzerland everybody spoke like 3-4 languages, and I thought, wow, I need to speak another language. So because my real dad was from Venezuela, I thought I should learn Spanish. So I went to Costa Rica to teach and learn Spanish. And then after that, I got a job in Morocco, lived and worked there. And then Tunisia, then Spain, then Saudi. I think that's it. And then I came to Dubai. But I think that was how I dealt with my grief. Obviously I had amazing experiences as well, but I think I was grieving. There was a lot of grief there, dealing with those feelings I had about everything. So I never spoke about it really to anybody. But then when I came to Dubai, like 15 years later, I started looking back on my life. I finally stopped, basically, and I was just like, 15 years, wow, what have I been doing? 11 countries. I don't want to carry on this life anymore. It's been great at the time, but I don't want this moving forward. And I was like, okay, what can I do with my life now? And then I kept meeting coaches, and I thought that's a sign. So I did the training, not to become a coach, but to be coached. And that's when I started realizing lots and lots of things. And it was literally like a mental prison, all the barriers coming down. I was like, wow. And then at the end, I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do, actually. What's more important than this? So then I did my certification, and yeah, and that's how that started. So, and I just feel like it just feels right, you know. It just feels right. Finally, after traveling the world looking for something, but actually it was me I was looking for. I know that sounds really cliche, but that's how it is.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. That is how it is. And so many people I interview for the program, they had the same experience. They get healed by something or other. Very often it's a therapy of some sort, and then they then think it's so wonderful that they then train in that therapy. Obviously with you it's been coaching, and it's remarkable and so lovely to see these lovely souls shine and you know, become grounded in a way that they can then help other people as well as helping themselves. So I take my hat off to you. Well done, excellent. So you've gone kind of full circle and found yourself.
Yeah, but it's like, as I realize, obviously it's a journey, isn't it? It never ends. The learning.
Absolutely.
And
life is a journey.
Exactly, life is a journey. But yeah, but it's been,
so many people don't appreciate that we're learning all the time about ourselves and others and relationships and communication and so on, and some people never find who they are, which is very sad. Which has led me to create my own behavioral profiling software.
Wow.
I'm just launching now. It's online, and it helps coaches, it helps students, it helps leadership teams, all sorts, to understand who they are sooner rather than later, and then stop chasing themselves, you know, trying to be somebody else. Let's acknowledge who you are, let's work with your strengths, and so you don't put yourself in a situation where you're constantly a square peg in a square, I can't say it,
square peg in a round hole.
I call it squeg. So don't become a squeg. And the reason I did this about 25 years ago, I got introduced to behavioural profiling, and I was managing a team of, you know, I don't like to say staff because it's like an us and them thing. We were all mates, you know, really. But I had at that time I had 25 team members. Over the years, it went up to over 200. But everything I've always done, whether it's been for my own business or for projects for other clients, the first thing I do is do a behavioural profile, so then individuals can see what their strengths are, how they relate to each other. Obviously I facilitate a conversation around that and team dynamic stuff. But once they realise that this person over here is not bitching at them personally, but so why are they taking it personally? When you explain that the behaviours are kind of innate to us, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, some people have issue with me because I have a very strong personality, and for those gentler personality types, I know that I'm too much, so I physically have to step back, put my hands behind my back because I talk with my hands, zip my mouth up at times, and then, you know, just kind of take things gradually with the person who I know and I sense finds me too much. So the model was called DISC, and I've created it. I've got my own unique version which I call DISC Plus. So I'm now, which is very exciting. So perhaps we can have a chat about that another time.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll be very interested. I love things like that.
Complimentary go at it on my website. I'll set you up for that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I love things like that.
Marvelous. So did you know what were you doing when you were 18? You said you had this dreadful shock about your stepfather, and presumably you weren't living with them at that point.
No. I was 14 when he split up with my mum. I was 14. I guess he was in my life from when I was 8 to 14.
So
So
a big influence, a big part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, huge. And because he wasn't my real dad, it was, when we did become close, we had such a strong connection. It was strong. It was so strong. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just awful when he.
So did you train as a teacher? Were you in training as a teacher at that point?
No. So what I did when I was 18, it was a difficult year really, because a few months before I had gone to Venezuela to visit my dad with my friend, and our plan was to stay in Venezuela for a little bit, learn Spanish, get a job, and then travel around South America. But that trip was a disaster, and my real dad, he made things very difficult for us. So it was one disaster after another. So I came back thinking, okay, well, at least I got to know my dad. But that was very disappointing. And then this happened like a couple of months later. So that, I would say that was probably the worst year of my life, because I felt like I'd lost two dads, you know. So I wasn't even thinking, what can I do? I was just like, I need to get out of this. Like, I don't think I was thinking logically. I think I was following my instinct. I'd been to college studying, but I wasn't thinking about studying more. I just had to go. So it was a few years I was in and out of depression, and then I studied to become an English teacher. It was, you know, a short course, one of those short self courses. I couldn't have done anything else. Yeah, and then I went to Turkey, but it was just, let me get out of here.
So how long have you been in Dubai?
5 years.
So you've feel properly grounded now. You certainly sound it.
Oh, do I? Thanks. Yeah, I guess. I guess this is the longest time I've been anywhere, actually. Yeah. And it was funny because I always knew I'd come here. Back in 2008, when I was living in Costa Rica, I knew I was going to come here, and I had never even been to any near this part of the world at all. But I knew Dubai was where I would end up. It's so strange. I think that's intuition. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people don't listen to their intuition, do they? How often have we heard people say, oh God, I should have done so and so, I felt that I should have done it, and then you talk yourself out. These saboteurs come out.
Yes, it's the saboteurs.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I learned with coaching as well. Even though I always followed my intuition, but with coaching it made me realize your body doesn't lie, but your brain makes up stories.
Absolutely.
And it is listening to your body. Listen to your body. Like, it will tell you what you need to do, whether it's even your movements, you know, like in coaching, like when we do the coaching, it's not just about speaking. It's very rarely about speaking. It's about what's happening with your body, embodiment. Yeah. And that's so powerful. Absolutely.
With the DISC behavioural profile in my DISC Plus program, I link it to health, and I can tell by somebody's behavioural profile what they're likely to be suffering from, whether they're ill at the moment, and I can guide them how to get out of jail with it, sort of thing. And it is about listening to your body, and so many people don't realize the connection is so strong between the mind and body. You know, there's a saying, isn't there, where your mind goes, your body follows.
Wow. Oh God, yeah, it's so true. Or is it the other way around? Oh no, yeah.
Well,
it's so tricky, isn't it?
It's both ways, really.
Yeah, it's both ways.
If you're thinking positive, so for example, if you're walking down the street, observe somebody walking down the street. If they're in a, you can tell what mood they're in by their body language. If it's head down or up, are they walking at a faster pace, a slower pace? You can tell somebody's personality from lots of things, what they're wearing, how they're dressed, the facial expressions, a whole bit, as you know. So if somebody is maybe in a foul mood, their body will be all tightened up, and of course that has consequences on health. If they're relaxed in a happy mood, their body will be reflecting that. So it's so linked. And with the cancer mentoring that I've been doing over the years, it's a key thing that people just don't seem to grasp. people either get it or they don't, and most people don't get this bit, the connection between the mind and the body. So you do all that with your coaching, your coactive life coaching.
Yes, exactly. It's all about embodiment, and what's your body telling you, what's your heart telling you, what's your body telling you, what's your spirit telling you. It's all about that, and that's why I love it, because it's all about connecting everything together, and tapping into different energies that serve you, you know, and knowing actually at the end of it all, everything we need we have inside us.
Yes.
Everything. And it's just like, when you realize that, like, if you want something, like some people say, oh, you know, I really want to be in a relationship, but then that means there's something that you're lacking, which you need to give to yourself before you, whereas, you know, we try to get things from outside of us, you know,
Yes.
like, I don't know, shopping or whatever it is. But once you realize, actually, I need to give myself something, it's huge. I don't know, it just changes everything.
What kind of people come to you for support, Jasmine?
I guess people who are unhappy. And it's actually a lot of people who've come to me are people who are unhappy in their job. And maybe, I don't know if that's because I was unhappy in my job. Like, I like teaching, but I knew it wasn't for me. It never felt right. Even though I was satisfied, it was okay, but it never felt right like this does.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like to the core, you know. So I don't know if that's why I'm attracting those clients. And people say you attract clients who were once you or something. I don't know. There's a So and also they're looking to be more confident, things like that.
Cool. So how do people get hold of you? Where will they find you?
Well, there's either my Instagram, which is with Nava.
With Nava. So you can spell that.
So with WITH, Nava, NAVA, from my name.
Okay.
Or my website, www.withnava.com. Everything's with Nava.
Okay. With Nava, brilliant. Okay. So any top tips to share, Jasmine?
Top tips. I guess the first thing is be aware of what you say to yourself every morning. Not just in the morning, but I guess, what are you telling yourself every day? Just be aware of what you're saying to yourself, because I think that can be life-changing, just being kind to yourself, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Self-talk can be self-sabotage, can't it? Or it can be self-inspiring.
Exactly. And how you talk to yourself, would you say that to your family or your best friends, you know?
Yeah, so be kind.
Words. Yeah, I think words can change everything.
Marvellous. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jasmine Navarro, coactive life coach.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. So withnava.com, everybody. Bye for now. Take care. I'm sure we'll be speaking soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Bye.